Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. First and foremost, we want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. I give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led me to this truth, who was ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, whomever they may be, to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So I'll come back in with a part 2. So I didn't get to finish this lesson. The Lord put the Spirit on me to do. I had to go to the plantation. So Lord willing, the rest of this is edifying to the flock. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is a call for return of face masks as COVID variant spreads. Let me refresh this. So just got a video. Let's see what it says. Just a minute and 20 seconds. Okay. It's been going on in India. Okay. I'm just going to read a little bit. Face masks should be worn again on public transport, experts say, as the new, what's called Octurus COVID variant continues to spread. 5 people have died from the strain, according to the UK Health Security Agency, while 135 sequences have been detected in the UK so far. Now believed to be around 104 cases, as some people have been sequenced twice. So, you know, more pestilence, more things coming, you know. And the Lord's not playing. But the Lord's using Esau Edom to do this. Esau Edom is mainly the one who has the means to be able to release these viruses. Okay? But this is what the Lord said. He said he's going to send a sword after Israel. And some of our people look like people over there in India. So we're going to start right here with Ezekiel. You know, because we look like all nations. But we are not of those nations. We are the nation of Israel. Out of all the 18 different nations, we are Israel. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 25. Oh, actually, yeah, this is Ezekiel 7:15. And it reads, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. And that's what's happening to 2/3 of our people, you know, and they're not going to wake up. But we're doing this for the lost sheep of Israel to wake up and come back to understand that this is what we need to be doing, all staying occupied in prophecy and, you know, worrying about the terrorists that are coming. You know, we got a lot of our people, they still partying, they're still doing all types of other stuff that's not occupied in prophecy, and that's what's going to get them ultimately destroyed, because they don't want to come back to the realization that this is our punishment. We're not supposed to be over here living our best life. So this is Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 1. A prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet, upon Shiganah. Verse 2. O Lord, Bahasham and Yahawashi, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. And that's how we were when we came in this truth, you know. And the ones that, you know, people like me, we still afraid, you know. And especially the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone and all the brothers that, you know, have been teaching longer than me. They're definitely afraid, because why? Because they know that they have a big responsibility to keep feeding the flock. And it's tougher as things go by, you know, but they have that spirit to endure, you know. We got to be like-minded and stay around those like-minded brothers and endure with them in these times, you know. We were all afraid when we came to realize that we sinned against the Lord, and we're supposed to be doing what he said do, you know, because we don't remember what we did for us to be punished. So, O Lord, Bahasham Yahawashi, receive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known, in wrath remember mercy. And that's ultimately what we want. We want mercy whenever he brings his wrath, you know, and our sins to be blotted out. Verse 3, Yahawah came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. Verse 4, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns, and horns is power, coming out of his hand. And there was the hiding of his power. See? He hid his power. He hid his name from his people. Okay? Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. So ultimately, you know, pestilence comes from Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. You know? These pestilences that are being occupied in all these places and people are dying from is ultimately from the Lord, you know, because his face is hidden from them still, which is causing them to be put in severe, grievous judgments. So this is Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 6. And it reads, and I will smite the inhabitants of this city, both man and beast, they shall die of a great pestilence. And this is what's coming to all the cities around the world, many of them, you know. mainly talking about America, Babylon the Great at this time. But you can also relate to that time as well. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. You know, because it says everything that'll happen once will happen again. So basically, everything that already had happened at a foretime is going to happen again. And that's how we can learn from it and prepare and come to repentance. Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8, and it reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, where they say they're going to be destroyed and you have great pestilence and many other things of war and of evil and of pestilence. In Isaiah 45:7, the Lord said he created the lightness and the darkness, good and evil. So if there's evil in the city, the Lord did it. Jeremiah 29, verse 17. And it reads, thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and I will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. And that's talking about 2/3 of our people. Okay, they don't want to repent and convert, and they never will. They look like all nations. That's why we are calling out, you know, by the Spirit. See? And the hopeful elect, which, you know, we hope to be of the elect, you know, are going to be the ones to understand. Okay? Because the hopeful elect, from what I see as a young follower, they're the only ones who are trying to put on the image of the elect. And what's the first thing what you do when you put on the image of the elect? You don't dare make yourselves part of that number. You got these other camps that acting like they already done made it. Okay? Ezekiel 14:21. For thus saith the Lord power, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem or Rawchaa, you know, you know, put it in Paleo Hebrew. And Jerusalem is basically anywhere we're at. We're Jerusalem. So anywhere we're at, that's what's going down. Okay? These judgments. So where are we? We scattered across the four corners of the earth. So where is judgment being delivered? Everywhere. Just some places more than others, depending on the Lord's will. The sword and the famine and the northern beast and the pestilence to cut off it, man and beast. And this is how these are the four sword judgments that those four angels are holding back, but they're releasing them in measurements. Okay? You know, because the Lord is tired of 2/3, man. And we're tired of them too. And now we're going to go to video 6. Ukraine war, 25 dead as Russian missiles hit cities. And these, you know, these Edomites, they steady shooting missiles. And they not going to let up. Okay? We're going to read Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 10. And this mainly speaks of all the countries coming together and coming with Russia and having an evil thought. But, you know, this is showing the buildup. This is showing what's leading to it. You know, they're already having that mindset of not caring who is being destroyed. They just want to make their point come across that they want power. They want world domination, just like the rest of the other, you know, countries do. But we know Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to destroy them all. So Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 10, and it reads, thus saith the Lord power, Yahawah Bahasham Rawchaa, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, talking about Russia, because everybody's going to be a guard unto them. They're going to come and they're going to, they're going to come aid them because they're the ones who are standing up to America, Babylon the Great. And thou shalt think an evil thought. What's that thought? Sending 200 million intercontinental ballistic missiles over here to destroy this place. That's what's going to happen. Nahum, chapter 1, verse 3. But before we read that, I'm going to go right here. Tornado flips cars and damages homes in coastal city. Touchdown in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. 100-mile-per-hour winds and overturned cars, snap trees, and damaged homes. So here's a couple of pictures. That's a big tree. Yep. And all of that is a masterpiece of the Lord. Exactly how everything looks. How do we know? Right here. Nahum chapter 1 verse 3, and it reads, the Lord Yahawah Shah is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. So that's how we know. That's how we know. He made sure all that happened. He ordained for it to happen. So now right here, this is 11 dead, 4 hospitalized in a gas leak, okay, in northern India. Media reports, so 11 people have died and 4 are hospitalized at the gas leak in northern Punjab state. So it says 11 people died. Lucky. 4 more were hospitalized at the gas leak Sunday in northern India's Punjab state. Local media reported the incident occurred in an industrial area in Ludhiana city, but the source of the gas leak is still unclear. Police told Press Trust of any India news agency. Let's lock here. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Slovakia. Left my bike outside. I needed to put it up. So now, okay. So now, India's National Disaster Response Force sealed off the densely populated area with evacuated residents. Authorities were trying to ascertain the type of gas in the leak. PTI quoted disaster response officials as saying. So we're gonna put in some precepts. Get into this. Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. And it reads, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And that's what he does. You know, and 2/3 of our people is enemies to the Lord. And the other nations are nothing to him. They're enemies to him, but he's not even worried about them. He's judging the house of Israel first, which is, you know, most of the ones that know that they're Israelites or have heard the message that they are Israelites and they've disregarded. They've disregarded it. You know, most 2/3 is going to have to taste that intercontinental ballistic missile firepower. You know, and right now he's got them comfortable to where they think they're going to be fine. So this is Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. And it reads, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahawashi have not done it? See, he caused that to happen. Surely the Lord Yahawashi power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Okay, those are the ones who have the secrets, which is the elders, apostles, the great millstone. And then, you know, the ones who the Lord has endowed to follow them, you know, down to their elders and then big brothers, and then down to, you know, the newborn babes like me. Verse 8, the lion hath roared, who will not fear? The Lord Yahawashi power hath spoken, but who can prophesy? But hold on, wait. It says, Salakia, yeah, who can but prophesy? Salakia. And he said, published in the palaces of Ashdod and in the palaces in the land of Egypt. Where we at? Egypt. And say, assemble yourselves upon the mountains of Samaria, and behold the great tumults in the midst thereof, and the oppressed in the midst thereof. And that's us. You know, we're the ones who oppress, but 2/3 of our people don't believe that. They don't believe we're under the curses. They don't believe what has happened to our people. But they know not to do right. From our 2/3, saith the Lord Yahawashi, restore violence and robbery in their palaces. You know, and that's really talking about, you know, the heathens, you know. But 2/3 of our people have surpassed the deeds of the wicked, so they might as well be them. But they're going to be saved in the end. You know, they're just going to have to die here. They're going to perish in their wickedness. Now right here it says, green your pastures, 2,500 hopeful sheep cross Idaho highway. I don't understand why they say hopeful sheep or whatever. But you see, that's prophecy right there. That's part of prophecy, things that happen. Okay, I don't want to get too much into it. We're going to read the precept about it. 2nd Esdras chapter 5, verse 8. You got to remember, Esdras was in the Persian captivity in 538 BC. And he was talking about this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this is going to go down. 2nd Esdras chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and Babylon means confusion. But it's talking about many places all over the world. And the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Why? Because their habitations have been desolate because of Esau Edom. He's fucked up all their habitations. So they're changing their places, and they're found in places that are not usual. Usually they're found. And minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. And what are those? The ones who beating up their moms and doing all types of wickedness and killing people and, you know, all types of stuff. You know? Wicked Jakes, man. Job chapter 12, verse 7. And it reads, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. See, when they do stuff like that, they're telling you something. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. You know what I'm saying? Who knoweth not in all these that the land of the Lord have wrought this? You know, so when stuff happens like this, we're connected to these creatures. So when everything's starting to die off, you know there's something wrong with the earth. When they start moving around like this, doing this, something's going on. So now this is my last clip, and it's dealing with a wicked woman, and then we're gonna close out. So Thai woman accused of murdering 12 friends in cyanide poisonings. Okay, that's pretty deep. Okay. Killed 11 others, including her ex-boyfriend. Police allege she killed for financial reasons, but she denied all the charges. You know, well, you know, whatever, man. That's pretty crazy. You know, but she's just accused. But how about Rawchaa ultimately knows if she was the one doing it? You know, everything will be brought to light. But there's some wicked 2/3 out there. She could be a Jake, or she could be a heathen. We don't know. It's all by the spirit, but we know this. Ain't nobody in the elect of Israel is doing nothing like that. And she might have been wrongfully accused. We don't know. But we're gonna read a little bit about wicked women. You know, you gotta be careful who you dealing with. You know, to accuse her of 11 people, there had to be a lot of people dying around her after she made some meals or something. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And that's what we hope for, you know. We hope that the Lord, if he's gonna bless us with a woman, she's godly, you know. She's godly and she fears the Lord and she submits to her husband. Don't need no woman who gets salty and then kill your ass with some cyanide. Proverbs 30, verse 20. And it reads, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. And that's how these American Babylon women, American Babylon great women are. They don't think that what they're doing is wicked. They think that they have a right to do it because Esau, Edom, and set up these laws. And now they bugging out doing dumb shit all the time. And it's going to be this thing that destroys them. And we're not going to care because that's what they deserve, that's coming to them because they're wicked. And that's just talking about the women, wicked women, not the women who came back to the truth and know that, you know, they're a Hebrew Israelite and they're repenting and converting. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 22, as a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. You know, we don't want no woman that doesn't have discretion. So let's go right here. Let's look up that word, discretion. Fair just means like, you know, they look good. They might look good, but they might not have discretion, which is what?
Strong's H2940. Ta'am.
Haste, judgment, decision, decree, understanding. We don't want a woman with no understanding on how to serve her man. We don't want a woman with bad taste, you know? We don't want a woman like that. And in the NLT it says, a beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in the pig's snout. So that's what it's telling you. It's telling you that if you can't understand the judgment of the Lord, then, more than likely, you're not going to attract a godly man, So, this is verse 23. The desire of the righteous is only good. See, we only want to have, godly traits. To go back to the Yahawashi, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Like killing 11 people with cyanide, okay? She might not have did it, we don't know, but the Lord ultimately knows. But, hey, the Lord ordained for her to get caught up, and if you're doing wickedness out here like that, more than likely you're gonna get caught up, But sometimes people get judged wrongfully as well, so you just have to, you have to sometimes see that kind of stuff out and see what happens. But it's a good topic to bring up about some of these women, how you don't really know who they are. You gotta be able to discern, and they definitely not in the truth. Don't deal with it. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house. She buildeth it spiritually and physically. She helped, tend to the home while the husband is at work. But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. That doesn't mean that, we in our captivity now. A woman could have a job and work, so what, stuff like that. But it's a wicked time right now. It's a lot of wickedness out there, There's a lot of wicked things. There's a lot of things that have been happening to women that try to go out and make their own money. So it's just, ultimately, it's a risky thing, and it's better if it can be done, to do it like the Lord said, hide them at the house, be keepers at home. Job chapter 9, verse 29, and it reads, Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. And that's why the Lord punishes people, because he wants to show you, like, there is judgment to everything you do. You can't just do whatever you want. There's going to be a grievous death for many people who don't want to come back and repent to the ways of Yahawah. So, that was the end of the video that I had. I wanted to do the whole thing earlier, but I was going to be late. And I was at camp Sunday. And I was an hour late because we was in the spirit. And I, stayed too long and got caught up. But now I'm back to be able to, kind of balance myself, make sure that I'm able to still provide for what the Lord is calling me to provide for. So Shalom to Elective Israel, to the whole collective Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. Gotta give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Yahawashi, Barak, Gotta give all praise to Yahawah, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Gotta give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Love me to his truth. He's been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness every day in mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, whoever they may be, and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and strive to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. Man is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. Wow, above. Lord willing, we'll be able to go and exalt the name of Yahawah and every day. Shalom.